Welcome to today's Pep Talk. I am your host. I am your coach. Most importantly, I'm your friend, Dr. Ellis. Thank you for being here on this fine Thursday afternoon. As we get started with Pep Talk, for those who don't know, stands for Pastor Ellis Powell, teacher, author, and life coach. This is where we have lunch and learn, where we feed the stomach, but also feed the mind, which is the stomach. All right, so I hope you're having a wonderful day thus far. So let's get to it for the next 25 minutes or so, all right? I want to talk to you today on some principles of creation, principles of creation. And I figure what better way than start with the good book, all right? You guys know I'm always going to have the good book. The good book is the best book, #1 bestseller every year since it first came out. And, of course, the King James Version came out in 1611, and sure enough, it's been the bestseller every year. There's no better book written better than the Bible. All right, so let's get started on the principles of creation. Today is October 22nd, as a matter of fact. Today's my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, sweetheart. So anyway, let's get started. So in Genesis chapter 1, if you want to go there with me, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light, and God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Evening, morning was the first day. All right, so that's all I really want to read, Genesis 1 and verse 1 through 5. Now, let's look at the principles of creation. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, so in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Understand, the first thing I want you to see is the word create. I want you to understand the word create. The word create comes from the word, in Greek, comes from the word bara, B-A-R-A, which means to form from nothing, to form from nothing. Anything that's made or make, it comes from nothing. Everything was created came before making. So nothing was made until it was created. Nothing is made until it was created. You got to get this. Nothing was made until it was created. All right? So in the beginning, God created the heavens. In the beginning, God. Now, God is spirit, according to John chapter 4. God is spirit. So the spirit creates. The spirit creates. It's very important you get this. I'll make a note on my note as well. The spirit creates. The spirit is the only one that creates from nothing. You say, how is that possible? Well, from the mind, from the spiritual. All right? The table, the platform I'm teaching on was created from nothing. And that is the concept. It was from nothing. Now, it was made out of the material, but the concept was from nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So the spirit, is very important you get in touch with your spiritual side, because the spiritual side is your creation side. That's why you meditate. That's why you dream. All right? That's why you imagine. You're creating from nothing. So God created the heavens, and the heavens is a place where God simply resides, and yet you can't physically touch it. All right? So the Spirit creates. The Spirit creates. Remember that. So when you get ready to create something, you create it in the Spirit, but you make it in the natural. All right? You create it in the Spirit, but you make it in the natural. You create it in the Spirit, but you make it in the natural. All creation is done in the Spirit. So the Spirit creates, and yet the natural makes. All right? So, in the beginning, God created, in other words, the Spirit. The Spirit, you start with the Spirit. You don't start with your natural. You start with the Spirit, your imagination, your beliefs. In the beginning, God created the heavens, all right, and that's the spiritual piece. And the earth, that's the physical piece. So everything that was created, again, goes forward. The Spirit creates, and the natural or the physical makes, all right? So God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Three things wrong in this verse. One, it says it was without form. Without form is disorder. Disorder, or you can use the word, how about this, disfigured. Without form, which means it wasn't, was it a rectangle? Was it a circle? Was it a triangle? See what I'm saying? Hexagon, octagon, trapezoid, you know what I'm saying? It was without form. It was no form. And without form simply means there was a lot of disorder. Disorder. And when there's disorder in your life, when there's disorder in your finances, when there's disorder in your relationships, there's disorder in your eating habits, then it's going to create something without form. Form, purpose, structure. All right? So that's number one the earth had. The earth was without form. The next thing, it says not only was without form and void. Void. You ever got some type of solicitation in the mail from some type of company that's trying to get your business, especially a finance company, and they send you a check with your name on it, with a certain amount on it, and yet it's stamped on there void, which means you cannot cash it. So another word for void is chaos or confusion. Chaos or confusion. Chaos or confusion. So therefore, on the earth, since there was disorder, watch this, disorder creates chaos and confusion. All right? I don't know what's going on with my life. I'm having problems in my relationship. I'm having problems with this because of the disorder, and disorder brings about chaos and confusion. Chaos and confusion, loss, not aware. You see what I'm saying? So disorder brings chaos and confusion. You can't live in chaos. Now, I know a lot of people who create lots of chaos, and those people who create lots of chaos always creating confusion. And not a lot of people like to be around those people because they create tons of confusion. We're talking about the principles of creation. So you want to start with your spiritual man to create things, but you want to make sure you're aware of disorder. You want to change your life, get rid of all disorder. You want to change your life. The next thing is once you put disorder, take care of the disorder, then you'll take care of the chaos and confusion. You won't be so lost. Then it says, not only was the earth without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Darkness. The darkness simply means the absence of knowledge. Or in Hebrew, the word darkness means ignorance. So it's the absence of knowledge, or you're ignorant. So when you're operating in disorder, and disorder brings chaos and confusion, you would no doubt about it be looking at the absence of knowledge and operating in ignorance. And ignorance simply means you lack what? Information. You lack information. And in Hebrew, the word means light. That's why it dwells in darkness. You lack light. You lack illumination. You lack revelation. You lack insight. So that's what was dwelling upon the earth. That was disorder. That was chaos. That was confusion. and there was a lack of absence of knowledge, or actually ignorance, which means there was a lack of information. And that was a lack of information, there was a lack of light, and that's why darkness dwelled among the deep, the face of the deep. Watch this. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. The Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, let there be what? Light. Now, light is information. Light is revelation. Light is illumination. Now, once you get illumination, once you get some revelation, watch this, then, watch this, chaos and confusion leaves. Most people are lost because they're operating in darkness and not light. That's where it's at. They're operating in darkness and not light. So God said, let there be light. Now, it's very important because I have been talking about affirmations for the many weeks now. So God said, let there be light. So when you have written down your affirmations, you're speaking that very thing into a dark situation. I am blessed. I am well. I am healed. I am rich. I am a business owner. I am focused. I am diligent. I am using all my talents and abilities for my good. You see what I'm saying? I'm speaking this affirmation. I'm speaking light in my situation. So that's where that comes from. So then God said, so I'm speaking to the spirit man, and the spirit man that's where he creates. He creates. And once he creates, then it's just a matter of time as I impress upon, through my affirmations, through my conscious, that it gets to my subconscious. And it's my subconscious is to more or less express what I suppressed upon it. You got it? So as I continue to have affirmations over and over and over and over, and it is seeking from my conscious to my subconscious, then it's my subconscious to express what I suppressed on it, what I put on it at the end of the day. All right? As I impress, that's the word I'm looking for. I don't want to suppress it. My affirmations make an impression on my conscious, that as I continue to go my affirmations over and over and over, how many times it takes to solidify that creation, then it gets to my subconscious, and it's my job of my subconscious to express what I've impressed upon it. You got it? Okay. So then God said, let there be light, and there was light. God said, let there be light, and there was light. God said, there was. So again, the affirmations are very important that you meditate, as God told Joshua in Joshua chapter 1, that you meditate on the word both day and night. This is your creation. This is your imagination. You got to continue to make the impression, so therefore your impression can now be expressed through your subconscious. And once you get to your subconscious, then it's able to connect and coincide with what's called the superconscious. And the superconscious is God. And God is all-knowing and all-being and all-powerful. All right? So the Spirit is where creation takes place. So God says it's very important you keep speaking it over and over and over and over and over and over. Faith coming by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Got to continue to speak it over and over. Must continue to declare and decree it, that it may be established. All right? In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word is God, and all things created by Him. So you understand, at the end of the day, everything was created by the Word. You got to continue to speak it over and 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 over. All right? So then God said, let there be light. Now, these are the principles of creation. If you want to create something, what better way than to imitate? As the Apostle Paul says, let us imitate, be imitators of God. Be imitators of God. Jesus says, everything I say, my Father told me to say it. Everything I do, He showed me how to do it. So if we're going to learn, we're going to learn from the beginning from God. So these are the principles of creation. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light. God saw. So God said, God saw. God said, God saw. God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light. Now notice, God said, let there be light, and there was light, and God saw it. God said it, and there was light, and then God saw it. So I believe in today, God said it, God believed it, God saw it. God said it, God believed it, God saw it. God said it, God believed it, God saw it. God said it, God believed it, God saw it. All right? And that is the pattern of how you want things created. You say it, you believe it, you'll see it. This is the pattern. This is from the very beginning now. So this is the premise, this is the basis on how all things get created. God said it, God believed it, God saw it. You say it, you believe it, you'll see it. Now, there's no time here, because remember now, there was no days. There was no days yet. There was no days. So you say, well, I've been saying it for a while. Well, the next step is, do you believe what you've been saying? Then if you believe what you've been saying, then just give it some time and you'll see it. Period. You'll see it. Because these are the principles of creation. All right? So then God said, let there be light, and there was light, and God saw the light, that it was good. It was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. God divided the light from the darkness. So now we know, again, darkness was the absence of knowledge, and actually ignorance, which is a lack of information. And God took that, it says again, God divided the light from the darkness. So God took the light, separated it from the darkness. He called the night, he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Now notice, he's dividing it. Notice he's dividing it. What he's doing is he's creating order. Order. That's what God's creating, order. You want your life to be better? You really want to be changed? Again, all you got to do is put in what's called order. Remember now, without form simply means disorder. So the reason there was chaos and confusion, because there was disorder. And the reason there was chaos and confusion, because there was a lack of information. You ever notice that once you get information, once you get some knowledge, hey, you feel better. Hey, okay, I think I know where I'm at in my life now. Right, but until then, you feel like you're drowning. You feel like you're lost. You feel like you're spinning in circles because of a lack of order. Full of clutter, full of mess, full of thoughts, not sure of yourself, stressed out, a bit of disbelief. So you must put in order. Order and structure is what will make your life a whole lot better. So God is separate, again, it says here, he separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Very important you get this. He's put it in order. Whether it be your finances, whether it be your relationships, whether it be your health. Where's the order? How much do you work out? What are the things you're eating? What are your habits? All this is order. Order. See what I'm saying? That's what he's doing. He's separating the disorder from the order. All right? Or you understand what I'm saying? So, let's go into the last piece. So not only, verse 5 says verse 4 says, and God saw the light, and that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Now you must also realize he's separating anything that's chaotic from the light. The light was good. So anything that's not good, any people, places, or things that's creating chaos, you must separate yourself from it. See, he's separating, he's dividing the light from the darkness. You got to separate yourself from anything and anybody who's creating chaos, drama king, drama queen, all that extra. I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay? So it's very important you get that. You got to make a decision. God is making decisions. Now, it goes on to say, watch this. Verse 5 says, God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So now, since he's putting order in place, now it allows you now to identify things. When things are all in darkness, you can't identify who's who and what's what. You can't identify what's good for you and what's bad for you. But the minute you put order in place, now you can identify who's who and what's what. And now you can make a decision. You can call it. You got to call it. You got to make a decision. You got to call it. I'll take a coin. I'll flip it. Heads or tail. You got to call it. Heads or tail. But you're going to have to call it. And that's what God is calling. God's making decisions. You got to make a decision. And most people don't want to make a decision. Most people want decisions made for them. It doesn't work like that. You're going to have to start today. If you're operating in darkness, you're operating in chaos, you're operating right now in disorder, in confusion, it's because you don't have made decisions yet. Make a decision. I'm not saying it won't be a bit scary, but it'll be more scary when you don't make one and the decision's being made for you. So, he's calling it. He called the light day. He called the darkness night. Now, watch this. So the evening and the morning were the first day. So the evening and the morning were the first day. The evening and the morning were the first day. The evening and the morning. Actually, your day did not get started in the morning. Your day gets started at night. 12:01, it's a new day. It says here that so the evening and the morning were the first day. It didn't say the morning and the evening. No, it said the evening and the morning, which means the darkness will come before the light. Darkness comes before the light. It's a new day at 12:01. Not 6 a.m. when you wake up, not 7 a.m., not 8 a.m. 12:01 a.m., it's a new day. Which means you're going to have to have enough courage, enough belief, enough strength to continue to say it and believe it, and you'll see it, but you must continue to do it while it's dark. You got to continue to do it in the evening. The evening is the new day. And when the light come, when morning come, it will simply reveal the very thing that was happening when you couldn't see it. And see, that's where faith comes in at. You got to be able to say it when you don't even see it because you believe it. And since you believe it, you know you'll see it. You understand? So the new day is in the evening. So don't panic. Don't get stressed out. Don't worry. It is happening right now in the evening. So those are my principles of today of creation. Is making sure that you understand that the Spirit creates everything, the natural makes everything. The Spirit creates everything from nothing. The natural makes everything out of what the Spirit created. All right? Now, don't forget the pattern. The pattern is say it, believe it, and you'll see it. And I'm telling you, that will get rid of any disorder in your life. That will get rid of any chaos and confusion in your life. That will get rid of any absence of knowledge and you operating in ignorance. The Spirit will reveal to you things and will give you the information that you've been lacking. All right? So I hope you enjoyed today's principles of creation. I'll see you back on Tuesday. Same bat channel, same bat time. Please make sure you subscribe and forward this. I'd rather be on Facebook, whatever, to your friends so their lives can be impacted. It is my purpose and belief that I believe the world can get better only if the people in it get better. So I continue to add value to myself that I may be of added value to you. So I hope you enjoyed today's Pep Talk with Coach Ellis. And again, have a great weekend. and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye now.